Hello and welcome to our new friends at PMZ Real Estate. This is Mike Ehrlich with the Buy Side Success Team, bringing you session number 2 in a series of sessions that we're going to be delivering to you. In the first session, we talked about generating more seller leads with your awesome new home valuation site. In today's session, we're going to be talking about dominating the listing presentation every single time with your powerful buyer market analysis. But before we get started, I always like to give a little bit of background about Buyside and who we are and what it is we're doing to help you generate more business. So about 6-7 years ago, the guys at Buyside really started seeing this big data explosion occurring. That's when you first started hearing these terms, big data, predictive analytics, and things like that. And no company really understood that better than Amazon. Amazon tracks us every single day in every single way. So when you're adding things to your cart, when you're saving items, when you're adding items to your wish list, Amazon is tracking all of that data to help generate more business. So the guys at Buyside said, what if we can do for real estate what Amazon has done for retail? What if we can track all the buyer data on the local brokerage website, consume it on our end, and then deliver it back to the brokerage so that they can generate more business? So that's exactly what it is we're doing. We're tracking all of the buyer data on your local brokerage website and delivering it back to you so that you can generate more business. And we're looking at things like online views on your listings on your local brokerage website, open house sign-in, showing appointments, save properties, mobile searches, save searches, web inquiries, data from your CRM. We're taking all of this data, we're taking all of this data out of their silos and doing the same thing that Amazon's doing. We're connecting the dots, which is help powering the 3 use cases that we're talking about in this series. So in the first session, we talked about generating more seller leads with your new home valuation site. In today's session, we're going to be talking about dominating the listing presentation every single time with your real-time demand report, your BMA. And then in the third session, we're going to be talking about matching more sides, closing more deals with Buyside's intelligent matching, match.com of real estate. So to get started, you want to make sure you go into your PMZ Plus. Once you're in your PMZ Plus, you go ahead and click on Client Management. You will then see a button for Buyside Agent Portal. Once you click on that, it'll pass you directly into Buyside. Let's go ahead and go to your Buyside dashboard. Once you're in Buyside, this is the screen you're going to see, and I always like to point out what everything is, just so you'll start to recognize it once you go in here more often. So the first thing you'll see is on the upper right-hand side, your buyers are automatically imported from Save Searches, Save Properties, but you can also add buyers directly to the system. And we're going to be covering that in the third session, so stay tuned for that. Also, any of your listings that are currently active in the MLS and on your local brokerage website will be automatically imported into the system, so you don't have to worry about double entry. On the right-hand side, you'll see notifications. So anytime there's a matching buyer or a matching listing with any of your inventory, we're going to notify you. Also, if your buyer is not a 4-star buyer, we're going to let you know so that you can update that buyer so it's more appealing to listing agents and also potential sellers. So we're going to be diving into that in the next webinar. So again, stay tuned for the next webinar. Valuation, so this is your lead generation with regards to Buyside over the last 30 days. So you'll see valuation attempts, leads, and monthly reports. We covered this in the first session, so if you haven't watched the first webinar, make sure you check that one out. One thing you'll see on your end, but you don't see it here because this is a test environment, is there's going to be a little chat window right down here. So if you ever have any questions, you run into any obstacles, if you think something can work better, we really, really, really want to hear from you. We want to build the best product possible for you. You're the boots on the ground. You know it's going to work in your marketplace. So we want to hear your feedback. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We have an awesome team on standby just waiting to answer your questions. So let's go ahead and dive into the buyer market analysis. So the first thing you want to do is you'll see navigations at the very top. We want to go ahead and click on BMA. I've actually pulled it up here. So you've generated the seller lead, be it through Buyside or some other means. So now you want to run a BMA of that property. So you go ahead and enter the address of the BMA, and you click Next Step. Here you're going to verify and edit the property details. So it's really, really important that you pick up the phone, call the homeowner, make sure it's still a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home, because a buyer looking for a 5-bedroom, 4-bath home is definitely different than a buyer looking for a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home. We pull this data from public records, and we all know that public records aren't always the most up-to-date records. Homeowners reconfigure their home all the time, so just give a quick call. Tell them that you're preparing for the listing presentation. You want to make sure you have all the details correct, and go ahead and update this if need be. Once you verified all the details are correct, go ahead and click Next. Here's where you can set the property estimates. So taking the Zillow objection head on, you can choose up to 3 AVMs. So again, AVM stands for Automated Valuation Model. They take into account bedroom count, bathroom count, sometimes vicinity. That's why you see this large spread. They go off of public records as well. So again, it takes you, the local expert, to really be able to price this home appropriately. But consumers nowadays, they go online, they look at things like Zestimate, and they say, that's how much my home is worth. So we're going to go ahead and take that head on. So we can choose up to 3 estimates, 1, 2, and 3. You can include your own estimate if you want. So maybe you ran a CMA and you kind of have a price range in mind. You can go ahead and include that. Or you can skip this step altogether. It's really up to you. We're going to go ahead and click Next. Here's where we can change the minimum and maximum number of buyers for this property. So currently there are 12 featured buyers searching for a home like this, willing to spend between $343,000 and $565,000. So you can go ahead and widen the price range if you wish. So you can show the homeowner, maybe they're all over the place with pricing. You can show them the power of all of the buyer demand out there. Or you can go ahead and narrow it down. Maybe you have a price in mind that you want to price it at, and you want to narrow it down to those buyers. So we're going to do 391 to 481. No, let's go let's do 450. And as you add more buyers to the system, this number is just going to keep growing. If your market's anything like my market in New Jersey, to where there's a ton of buyer demand and not a lot of inventory, as you start adding more buyers to the system, this number will just continue to grow. We're going to go ahead and click Generate PDF. So right now we're pulling in all that public data I talked about previously, all that buyer data. We're putting it into a consumable format, not just for the seller to read, but for you to be able to tell the story about the BMA. As you know, in sales, wrapping stories around things really helps people understand it better. So it's going to automatically download to your computer. We're going to go ahead and click View Report. And here's a very elegant RFP, request for proposal. That's an awesome hero image. I love that hero image, so kudos to your marketing department for that. But you'll see here, this is a real-time market report for 3621 Viator Drive. The thing to really zone in on is that this is a real-time report. Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but there's a lot of buyer demand out there, but there's not a lot of properties for sale. Currently, I show 5 buyers that are currently searching for a home like yours. If you really, really want to get in on this market, again, buyers are picking up whatever they can. They're going above ask. They're increasing their buying power. If you want to get in on this market, it's important that we get your property on the home right away to get as many buyers to the door so that we can get your home sold in the least amount of time and for top dollar. We also include information about you, so your name, your contact information. Some brief bullet points on why list with PMZ Real Estate. Again, kudos to your marketing department for putting this together. So this is a condensed version on why list with PMZ Real Estate. Scrolling down. The real-time valuations. Again, it takes us, the real estate agent, to be able to educate our potential sellers. A lot of them see Zillow, but they don't see those ranges. They might not see the appraisal one. So again, Zillow is not the only kid on the block that has an AVM. You see these other 2 AVMs and you see the large price range. So it goes all the way from 343 up to 565. Now that's a huge range. So Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, not to say that these are wrong, because again, sometimes that's adversarial and they live by these. Not to say that these are wrong. The price of your home might be somewhere in there, but again, it takes me, the local expert, because I know the buyer demand, and you'll see that in a second. I know the buyer demand. I know how what the local market's doing right now. I can walk the home. I can note your upgrades when again, these AVMs take into account bedroom count, bathroom count, sometimes vicinity, public records, which again aren't the most up-to-date records. Scrolling down, we know what buyers are searching for. So this is a buyer heat map. So all of those buyer activities that we talked about earlier, online search, online views, save searches, save properties, inquiries, all of that data is what helps power this map. So we're visualizing that data in this map. So currently this property is in a high activity area. So it's important to get pricing right, as you could inside a bidding war and drive up pricing. So this operates similarly to a heat map. So the buyer heat map operates similarly to a weather map. The darker the color, the more intense the online activity. The lighter the color, the less intense the online activity. Scrolling down, so again, tracking all of that buyer data across your brokerage website. So you're doing the same thing that Amazon's doing. You're breaking it down. So currently there are 73,582 online activities within a 5-mile radius within the home's price range and looking for a 4-bedroom. So it really shows the power of your brokerage website, that this is where everybody's going to do their searches. And then also by bedroom count and by price range. And then finally, as I like to call it, the knockout punch. Boom, 5 potential buyers actively searching between 391,000 and 450,000 in the last 90 days. Here are a few of their profiles. Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, after you sign that listing agreement today, I will be able to reach out to the agents that represent those buyers. I can't promise you that all 5 buyers will get through the door. Again, this is what we call a seller's market. There's not a lot of inventory. There's a ton of buyer demand, but we want to get as many buyers through the door as possible. So currently there are 5 buyers. I will reach out to the agents that represent these buyers once we get this listing agreement signed, and we'll get these buyers in as quickly as possible, again, so we can get top dollar for your home in the least amount of time. So again, this really differentiates you from everybody else. There are a lot of other brokerages out there that say, oh, we have buyers, we have buyers, we have buyers. Once you show this to a homeowner and maybe they're interviewing additional agents, they're going to ask them, how many buyers do you have? They'll say, well, we have all the buyers. They'll be like, well, currently PMZ has 5 buyers for my home. How many do you have? And the other agents aren't going to have an answer. So again, this is really going to differentiate you in your local market. Remember to bring this along with your CMA. Never forget to bring the market with you. I'd like to give a quick shout out to our Buy Side Insiders Facebook group. So if you haven't joined us yet, definitely join us. You can get there by going to buysideinsiders.com. Again, that's buysideinsiders.com. You can request to join. I will approve you, and you can join the conversation. It's a growing group. We're over 2.1, over 2,100 members now. So definitely join us. It's a great place where agents from around the country that are currently using Buy Side share tips, tricks, marketing ideas, what they're doing in their market to dominate. So definitely join us. Again, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I really, really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. Everybody have a great day.